Welcome to this world of plant sciences, the botany. The topic is stem modification. In plant morphology, this is another topic stem modification. This is KVS Durga Prasad, HOD of Botany, Hindu College, Guntur, presenting the topic of stem modification. Dear students, you know that stem original activity is to conduct the water and food materials and to bear the floral pods in a specific area. In addition to those activities, the stem also performs some other activities. So, as to perform them, it has to undergo some structural changes and what they are called the stem modifications. These are of various kinds: underground stem modifications, subaerial stem modifications, and aerial stem modifications. Under these three categories, once again, there are another a list of stem modifications. In this session, we'll go through all those stem modifications, that is, the underground stem modifications, the subaerial stem modifications, and the aerial stem modification. To begin with, it is about underground stem modification. The stem grows below the surface of the soil and gets modified. What is the purpose? They help in the storage of food materials. They help in vegetative reproduction. They overcome the unfavorable conditions and what it is called pollination. They get themselves protected from the grazing animals, and hence these are called multi-purpose stem modifications. That is, the underground stem modifications are. Though the stem growing below the surface of the soil, it is not considered as a root. It is a stem alone. Why? Because of it has the scale leaves, it has the nodes, it has the internodes, and it has the buds. Hence, these are considered as the stem but not the root. So those are the characters of underground stem modification. And not only that, they help in the storage of food materials. They are usually tuberous. These are of various kinds, that is, the underground stem modifications: the rhizome, the corm, the stem tuber, and the bulb. There are four types of underground stem modifications. I repeat: the rhizome, the stem tuber, the corm, and the bulb. Now let us go and see each among them. To begin with, it is the rhizome. It is a horizontally growing underground stem modification, where it is a dorsiventral in nature. It has nodes, internodes, scale leaves, buds. The axillary bud will be going in and into the branches. So the growth is said to be sympodial growth. And then the terminal bud will be coming out as aerial shoot. And the whole stem is tuberous. So that is the rhizome. The example for this rhizome: the Gingiva officinalis, the Curcuma longa, Kenna indica, the Nilambo. These are all various examples for this rhizome. The weak rhizome is otherwise called the sobole. The example is agrophyron, where the weak rhizome otherwise called the rhizome, the sobole. Now, the second among the underground stem modifications is the corm. Rhizome grows horizontally below the surface of the soil, whereas the corm grows vertically below the surface of the soil. It is a corm. And it has also nodes, internodes, scale leaves, and all that. The axillary buds will grow into the daughter corms, which help in the vegetative propagation. The terminal bud will be going into the aerial shoot. The two best examples here we are mentioned are the colocasia and the amorphophallus, the corm, which grows vertically below the surface of the soil. The third among them is the stem tuber. The aerial branches grow below the surface of the soil. The terminal part accumulate the food material and becomes tuberous, and what it is called tuberous or stem tubers. The best example for that is Solanum tuberosum, Helianthus tuberosum, Stachys tubifera. What you are watching on the monitor is the potato. It has some eye-like projections. These are the eye-like structures, and what they are called the nodes. At each eye-like structure, there is a scar left over by the fallen scale leaf. Then below that, a pit in which an axillary bud is present. And each piece, when you cut it and sow it, it will grow into individual plant. Thus, the eyes of potato help in the vegetative propagation. So this is a stem tuber. The last among that is the bulb. It is also an underground stem modification, whose stem is originally reduced into a disc-like structure. And numerous fleshy scale leaves are present overlapping fashion. And you can watch in this diagram the disc-like stem, and then various adventitious roots are there, and the scaly, fleshy scales in a concentric manner. From in the axils of this scales we have the axillary buds, and which could grow into daughter bulbs, and in the center there is a terminal bud which shoots out as an aerial shoot system. These bulbs are of two types: tunicated bulb and non-tunicated bulb. A bulb where the scale is arranged in a concentric manner, and also it is covered by a papillary appendage called the tunica. The best example for that is Elium cepa. Some bulbs are there which are not where the scaly are not arranged in concentric manner, and there is no tunica, and what it is called non-tunicated bulb. The example for that is lily. And also this is a tunicated bulb. And sometimes we have the Elium sativum, the garlic, where the fleshy leaves are not arranged in a concentric manner, but they are covered by a papillary appendage, the tunica. And but that the example is Elium sativum. And each fleshy scale leaves is considered as the clove. So here you are watching the three kinds: the tunica, Elium cepa, then this is the Elium sativum, and that is said to be called the fleshy bulb. So once again, you are watching the bulbs there. That is the last among the underground stem modifications. As I said earlier, once again, the rhizome, the corm, the stem tuber, and the bulb. Now, here are the subaerial stem modifications. And these are also help in the vegetative reproduction. These are of four kinds: the runner, the stolon, the offset, and the sucker. Let's go and see each of these four. This is the runner, the stolon, the sucker, and the offset, the pistia. To begin with, the runner. The original plant is rooted at one place, and from there the branches will be creeping or spreading in different directions with the long, lengthy internodes, and at each node once again it gives off the roots into the soil and aerial leaves and the shoot. And in case this part gets detached from the parental plant, it could lead an independent life, and what it is called runner with a long internodes. The best example for that are the cynodon, the hydrocotyle, and the oxalis. So runner with a long internodes. Now the stolon. The aerial branches which are close to the surface of the soil, when they come in contact with the soil, they give off the roots, and in case it get detached from the parental plant, they can lead an independent life. We could see this in the case of jasmine, hibiscus, nerium. In horticulture, the method layering is adopted from this process, what it is called the stolons. The best example, jasminum, these nerium, etc. Coming to the next one is the sucker. Certain portion of the stem is buried in the soil, and the lateral branches grow obliquely and emerges out. In the process, they give the adventitious roots. And as I said here, and this is also help in the vegetative propagation. It gets detached from the parental plant. It can lead an independent life. The best example for that is the chrysanthemum and mentha. The last among the underground stem modification is the offset, which usually we see in the free-floating hydrophytes. This is the pistia and this is the acarnia. Original stem is reduced into a disc-like structure, or which number of crowded leaves are present in the rosette manner. And below that we have the balancing roots which make the plant to float on the water, and from the axils of the leaves the branch will grow, and that also finishes and it also gives the roots below and rosette of leaves. So it is a subaerial stem modification of one internodal length. Subaerial stem modification of one internodal length, the offset, and the best example for that is the pistia. Thus we have seen the four among the subaerial stem modifications: the runner, the stolon, the sucker, and the offset. This is runner, stolon, sucker, and offset. Now here we go into the third type, the third category, the aerial stem modifications. These are of various types: the tendrils, the thorns, the hooks, phylloclades, bulbils, and pseudobulbs. My dear students, to start with the tendril. What is a tendril? Tendril is a long, wiry, sensitive structure that help in the climbing. And the long, wiry, sensitive structure, the help in the climbing. These tendrils may be coming from the axillary bud, as in the case of passiflora and also cucurbita. And cucurbita is a little bit controversial, but still we have the passiflora, the axillary bud modifying into tendril, and the terminal bud modifying into tendril in the case of cissus or the vitis. Here we are seeing all the three plants: the cucurbita, the passiflora, and the cissus or the vitis. Now the thorn. What is a thorn? The hard pointed structure that help in the defense or the protection. These thorns are also coming from the axillary bud, as in the case of bougainvillea, durantha, and also the citrus. And the temel bud is modifying the pair of thorns in the case of carissa. And here we are seeing various types of thorns. That is a branched thorn in the case of flacotia, a thorn which is having the flowers, fruits, and all that you can see in the case of punica, a pair of thorns in the case of hazel. So various types of thorns here we are watching. Now hook. What is a hook? Hook is a hard curved structure that help in the climbing. Here we are watching it in the case of Hugonia, the axillary buds modifying into hook. In the case of Atrobotris, the temel bud is modifying into hook. And this hook is a peduncle that bears the flowers. So the temel bud modifying into a hook-like structure in the case of Atrobotris, axillary bud in the case of Hugonia. Phylloclade. This is an interesting case seen in the case of xerophytic plants. It's a xerophytic adaptation. To reduce the rate of transpiration, the original leaf is modified into scale or into spine, or it may be absent also sometimes. So the leaf roll will be taken up by the stem. The stem possesses the chlorophyll and could perform the photosynthesis. And what such stem is said to be called the phylloclade. Here you are watching on the monitor. This is Opuntia. This is Muhlenbeckia. In the Opuntia, the phylloclade is flat and fleshy, where the original leaves are modifying to spine structures, and in the case of Muhlenbeckia it is a ribbon shaped. So it is a typical xerophytic character, and here on the monitor you are watching the various types of cacti members. These are all phylloclades where the stem modifying to leaf like structure. The phylloclade of one internodal length is said to be called the cladode. The phylloclade of one internodal length is said to be called cladode. And here there are two best examples. One is asparagus and the other one is ruscus. In asparagus, these are the cladodes are in the needle-like structures, whereas in the ruscus, the cladode is a leaf-like structure. In the center of the leaf-like structure, we have the flowers are also the unisexual flowers. So the best examples for the cladode are the asparagus and ruscus. My dear students, here another aerial stem modification where the axillary buds modifying to bulbous structures and they help in the vegetative reproduction. If they fall on the soil, they could turn into individual plants. This is the case of Dioscorea. In the case of agave, the buds in the axils of the bracts that will turn into the bulbils, they too help in the vegetative propagation. In the case of Ananas sativus, that is a pineapple, the bulbils are present on either side of the fruit in the case of pineapple. This is the last among the aerial stem modifications, that is tuberous stems. Sometimes the stem stores the food material and becomes tuberous and bulbous. In the case of bulbophyllum, which is an epiphyte, the basal internode stores the food material and becomes tuberous, and this is the case of, otherwise it is said to be called a pseudobulb. The example for that is a bulbophyllum. In the case of this is a null cole, the whole stem is a tuberous, which is a Brassicaceae member. This is a null cole. So thus we have seen the various types of stem modifications, my dear students. As I said, underground stem modifications, subaerial stem modifications, and aerial stem modifications, and have the various types once again under them, and we got the list of examples. This is all about stem modifications. Thank you. In another session we'll see you. This is Durga Prasad taking leave from you, HOD of Botany, Hindu College. Thank you once again.